One of the cool things with the 1911 platform is the seemingly never-ending options for custom grips. It's a simple way of making your pistol yours instead of being just another production gun. Today's video is going to be dedicated to 1911 grips, and for those of you who own one of the Rock Island Armory double stack pistols, you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for this one. No, not quite yet. Let's ease into this one. Before we get started, I just want to give some full disclosure. Mark over at Brownworks hit me up a couple months ago, and through a series of conversations, I went ahead and offered to test out some grips and do a video if they worked out. Those of you who have been following me for a while know that I refuse to do paid advertisements. Now, I do get discounts here and there. Sometimes I do get demo products sent to me. There are times that I have a financial interest because there are affiliate links in the description. What I don't do is take a payment for a review, and if I find an issue with a product, you better believe that I'm going to point it out. Mark at Brownworks really got my attention when he started talking about developing grips for the double stack series of Rock Island guns. Any of you guys out there that own one of these pistols knows that nobody makes grips for them. If somebody does, that's news to me, because I've been looking for 4 months and I haven't been able to find a single company that makes them. There's actually a good reason for that. Rock Island didn't do anybody any favors with their design. Standard 1911 grips, they aren't going to work. There is some complicated geometry involved in designing grips for these Rock Island guns. As if that wasn't enough, there are some variations in the measurements between the two screw holes on the grips. Now, I've been working with Mark on this project the last couple of months. I've been, test fitting prototypes and giving him feedback on how they fit, going back and forth with the design aspect of this. From what we can tell, there are some very loose quality control standards when it comes to where those screw holes are located on the pistols themselves. There doesn't seem to be an exact standard measurement. Basically, I can take the grips off of my gun and put them on yours, and the screw holes might line up, they might not. It's really hard to say. To be clear here, this is not a Brownworks thing. This is a Rock Island thing. Just like everything else when it comes to the 1911 platform, there could be some hand fitting needed. That's all going to depend on your particular pistol. I'll get into that shortly, but first let's go ahead and take a look at some of the grips that Brownworks offers. We have the ever popular Don't Tread on Me version. I know, every website on the internet has these grips. Okay, I can tell it's going to take a little bit more than that to get your attention. Okay, what about this? Snakeskin? I've seen lots of grips like this before, but honestly, I've never seen them this quality. Okay, still haven't gotten your attention, I see. All right, no problem. Moving on. I know this is a tough crowd, but let's go ahead and try this. What about custom laser engraving? Brownworks can custom laser pretty much anything on your grips that you want, but if you really want to go for the showstopper, I've got something for you. Look, if this doesn't do it for you, I suggest you check your pulse. Okay, I'm kidding. This is just an example of what Brownworks can do with photo transfer. Maybe you want something different or out of the ordinary. Photo transfer is a great way of getting that with your grips. Not only can Brownworks do the photo transfer, but they can also take that photo, convert it over to a laser program, and then laser etch that into your grips, which I actually kind of prefer. Now, I asked Mark to send me a handful of assorted grips just so that I could get a good idea of what it was that he could do with 1911 grips. Most people may not want my face on the grips of their 1911. I get it. I'm not quite at that point on YouTube yet. I'm fine with that. But the point of this grip is that the sky really is the limit as far as what Brownworks can do for you with your custom 1911 grips. If you have a family crest, a company logo, anything like that, Brownworks is going to knock it out of the park and make you a one-of-a-kind set of grips that is really going to not disappoint. Now for the part that I think a lot of people are going to be excited about, because I know that I am. That's right, if you own one of the double stack Rock Island Armory guns, there is finally an option to put a little bit of your own personality into your firearm. And if you scroll down a little bit into the description, I've got a link to Brownworks so that you can go ahead and take a look and see what's available for your double stack Rock Island 1911. When I got the 9mm Tac Ultra, one of the very first things that I wanted was a set of wood grips with my logo burnt into it. It didn't take long to find out that that wasn't going to happen. It seems like nobody out there wanted to put the work into designing a set of grips for these guns until Brownworks stepped up. All of those options that we just went over as far as grips, those are all going to be available for the double stack 1911s from Rock Island Armory. There is one exception, and that is that some woods are not as strong as others, which means you will be slightly limited as far as the variety of woods available for the Rock Island guns. Now, because of the way that Rock Island designed these guns, the shape of the grip, this is so thin and there's not very much room in between the screw hole and the bottom of the grip, which means that weaker woods aren't going to work well for these without breaking. So because of the challenges involved in making these grips with them having to be as thin as they are, Mark over at Brownworks wants to make sure that you get the highest quality possible. So he has chosen the strongest of the woods available for the grips that he's offering, and those will be on the website. Also, there is the headache of the screw holes. Like I said earlier, they're not all the same. I know mine on one side, they're a little offset, so they fit a little bit wonky. When you get your Brownworks grips in the mail, you want to start by loosening the set screw in the magwell. This is going to give you a little bit of room to work because once you've removed that set screw or backed it out most of the way, that magwell actually has a little bit of play in it. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it gives you quite a bit of room to work with getting those grips in place. I found that the best thing to do is back that set screw out, remove the old grips, put the new grips in, and start with the top hole. Thread that screw in 3/4 of the way, move to the bottom screw, thread that screw in 3/4 of the way, make your adjustments, get them all in place, and then tighten down your screws. Once the screws for the grips on both sides are tightened down, go ahead and tighten that set screw for the magwell back up. Now, if you don't back that set screw for the magwell out, there is a very strong possibility that you're going to break your grips. And I know because I've got a couple sets of prototypes here that I busted. It took 1 or 2 broken grips before I realized that I had to back that set screw for the magwell out to be able to get them to fit properly without actually breaking anything. In the event that you order a set of these grips and they don't fit as expected, the very first thing that you need to do is email Mark over at Brownworks. Mark's a good guy. He takes a lot of pride in the product that he manufactures. If you're finding an issue with how the grips fit, chances are it's because the screw holes on your particular gun are off just a little bit. You're going to want to take a couple pictures of how they fit and email them over to Mark. He'll definitely get back with you and make sure that you get a set of grips that is going to fit your particular pistol just like they should. Just don't be the guy that tries to force those screws in place, because honestly, all you're going to do is break it. Take that extra 5 minutes to take some pictures, send them over to Mark so that he can make the adjustments that you need. Now, with the demand for these Rock Island pistols being what it has been the last couple of years, I know there is a ton of people who would love to get their hands on some custom grips, something other than the standard black option that comes with these pistols. Brownworks has all the options that you want, fully customizable, and I'm going to tell you, you are not going to find a company that treats you better as a customer than Brownworks does. Hit that link down below and check them out. Whether you have a double stack Rock Island, a single stack full-size 1911, or any variation in between, Brownworks should be your go-to for custom grips for your 1911s.